Yo, Cool K, what's going on? Give me a quick second. I just want to make sure that everything is good before we start our reflections of all the chapters of One Piece that we got this month. Want to make sure that all my lighting's good. Yeah, want to make sure all my lighting is good. It looks good outside. Want to make sure I don't just got stuff laying around in my room because you guys know when I do this. I want to make sure that I'm presentable to you guys whenever I do my room and everything. But hey, everybody, what's going on? Cool K, Brandon Lewis, Grant Dolman. Good to see you all here. We got a lot to cover. We only got like 3 chapters this month, but they were all really substantial. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let me move this tab over. All right. So in the month of June, we got 3 chapters of One Piece. Chapter 9, 45, 46, and 47. So starting off, let's just go run right through them and we'll point out all the things that we see and then we'll discuss it a little bit. And I'll make sure the chat's on the side just in case you guys see anything. I'm not worried about seeing my face because I already know my setup is fine. So just want to make sure I see chat so whenever we're talking, then I can address you guys. Hey, Hinata, what's going on? We're doing some reflections on the One Piece chapters we got. So get comfy. Oh, and yes, I just came from church. So that's why I got the nice looking shirt on. These were the colors red, white, and blue because of, 4th of July week, the whole 4th of July thing that's going on this week. So we had to, gizzy myself up just a little bit. I got to look might have fresh just a little bit. It's Braden, not Brandon. Okay. So moving on with chapter 945, Olin, we have, basically the fight of the Straw Hats going down in the middle of the Flower Capital. And Orochi is running away from everybody. And he's telling everyone to round them up and behead them all. And everyone's looking on while Zoro is still fighting Kiyoshiro. And Zoro is still focused on trying to take down Orochi. But Kiyoshiro's still standing in the way. Still think he's a double agent. 4th of July in America. I wonder what's that's like. Picture people setting off fireworks. Really? Just we say we celebrate it we say we have 4th of July to celebrate our independence, that's what it is. 4th of July is our Independence Day. Yeah. So just picture people, wearing a whole bunch of red, white, and blues. Like I got blue pants on with a white shirt and red shirt. So picture fireworks, people cooking out, and that's really a lot of the good sides. Some of the bad sides of it is people tend to get a little bit rowdy. Pardon me. People tend to get a little bit rowdy here in America when it comes to Independence Day, and some people try to go a little bit overboard, but that's a conversation for another time. It's fun and everything, but as long as people do it safely. You got police always around saying to be safe during this 4th of July because people tend to go a bit overboard for this holiday. So some people celebrate it safely, others do not. That's unfortunately how it is. Some people just don't know how to do things in moderation here. Sometimes it's unfortunate for this country, but yeah. So Orochi's running away. Zoro's trying to take him down. Kiyoshiro gets in his way, and they're clashing swords. And the Oniwabanshu arrive, and Fukuro Kuju is out trying to say that as long as we grab one Straw Hat, we'll torture them and make them squeal about their plans on why they're here and everything. So we just need to capture one. So the Oniwabanshu are in the Flower Capital as well, trying to capture the Straw Hats. So there's that going on there. And then we see some of the abilities and some of the skills that some of the ninja have, like the lady, like one of the ladies that's part of the Oniwabanshu. She has like a lute, not like a lute, but I forget the name of the Japanese instrument that you sometimes see during geisha plays. I forget the name of it, but it also doubles as a gun, and she tries to shoot it at Zoro, making it seem like it's a ninja art, but Zoro sees right through it and is all like, that's no ninja art. That's just a straight up gun. So she tries to shoot him, Corazon Rosinante. Yo, I don't think I've ever seen you here before. Or if I have, then you may have changed your name. But if this is your first time here, welcome. We miss you, Corazon. I think Usopp will get caught and his will be tested. That's actually a really good point, because we all know how cowardly that Usopp can behave at times. So if he were to get captured, this would be the time we see just what he's made of as far as willpower. Will his care for his friends, his nakama, his crew, will it outweigh his need to survive and live under the torture of his friends? I mean, all of Usopp's arcs always involve overcoming himself. So with that being said, I have no doubt that Usopp is not going to betray the Straw Hats if he was to be captured. This is just an if situation. If it's Usopp they managed to grab, it would kind of play into how Oda writes, but at the same time, it would be a good way to see his will be tested. But I say that Usopp, I highly doubt will betray his crew. So, as that's going on, everyone is still holding on to Toko. Yeah, Toko. Toko, and she's still screaming for her dad, but we all know the state of the people from Ebisu Town. After eating the infected smiles, they no longer can feel any other emotion other than smiling and laughing. It has been possibly teased due to Usopp saying that he would hate being tortured, but that being said, I know he won't betray them. Oh, no. The bond between the Straw Hats is unparalleled, to the point where they would never even... They've been given multiple chances to betray their own crewmates and run away. They've been given multiple chances, and every time... Let me turn towards you. Every time, they always prove that their care for their friends and their crew as a whole outweighs any sort of temptation or any sort of reward or bounty or whatever. Their bond is strangely strong. It's not even strangely strong, but their bond is ironclad. I haven't seen a crew this ironclad since Shanks' crew. Shanks' crew is just made up of regular people. To keep that in mind, because we're going to talk about more of that once we get into the latest chapter that happened the other day. So, but yeah, if it does happen to be Usopp, it would be interesting to see just how strong his will is. So Usopp has Toko in hand. She's still screaming for her dad. Refused to say those lines and laugh at him because Yasu is one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time in One Piece. Just from his chapters alone, not going to touch him. So Sanji passes off Toko to Usopp, and while he's fighting. Because Sanji's fighting Drake right now. And moving on, he tries to fight him. Then all of a sudden, he gets knocked away by Drake's tail. And saying that... and now he comes to the realization, so you're the Osoba mask guy that we've been looking for, huh? And I heard from the reports that you're a Vinsmoke. And of course, this upset Sanji because we all know his relationship with his family. He doesn't want to be associated with that name. So the moment it's brought up, it hasn't been brought up. That name hasn't been brought up ever since we fully left out of Whole Cake Island. So it just brings nothing but bad memories. So now it's just going to be more of a anger-filled fight with Sanji versus Drake just because he brought up that name. We'll have to see how that goes. Maybe. And here's the thing about the fight between Sanji and Drake. Will Sanji use his raid suit? Or do we think that Sanji's at a position where he can just take on Drake by himself without his raid suit? Because we really haven't seen any supernovas go up against one another for a minute, I feel. Like, we haven't seen just, other than, Drake, other than Hawkins and Zoro at the beginning, near the beginning of this entire Wano arc. But I'm droning on. Let's just focus on the task at hand, and then we'll talk about some other stuff after we're done. So, sorry if I'm getting sidetracked here. So, Toko it'll be okay. And Brook is with Hiyori right now, letting her know that they'll be able to escape. You should also escape from the capital as quickly as possible. The ones who took Toko and Yasuye are our comrades. Now, while I have their attention, Brook uses his ability to scare some of the ninja away with his ghost powers. with it. Yeah, pretty much his ghost soul powers. I keep thinking who the Straw Hat members will fight, but I keep forgetting about Law and wonder who he will fight. Well, as you remember, Law is face to face with Hawkins right now because Hawkins has used his own Devil Fruit ability to link his life to Shachi, Penguin, and Beppo, with Beppo still missing. We don't know where Beppo is, and Hawkins himself has said that you don't think I would keep all of my pawns in one place. So Beppo is hidden off somewhere to ensure that Law can't really do anything to Hawkins, because whatever Law does to Hawkins is inflicted on Shachi and Penguin and Beppo as well, or either one of them. Because I feel like Hawkins is able to select who gets hurt with his Devil Fruit ability of, like the whole voodoo doll thing. He's able to select the person who gets the damage inflicted on, more like a way of showing an example of, if you do this, then this will happen to him. But if you do this, then that could happen to him. So they're all of their lives are at stake right now. And Law is already furious that because Law's relationship with his crew, even though he may seem like a really crude and abrupt dude, he really cares for his crew members. That's why he was so vehement on finding all of them. And when he found out they were being tortured, he wanted to make his way there, but still play it safe a little bit. So you think that Drake, Hawkins, and Kid will join and help Luffy, or stay loyal to Kaido? Also, where's Apu? Exactly. We have yet to see Apu ever since... What is the chapter? It was after Doflamingo's defeat, and Apu was calling Kaido. But we have yet to see Apu anywhere. We have no idea where he is. Maybe he's the one who's watching over Beppo. Possibly. I don't know. We have no idea. Because it makes me wonder, just what role is Apu in Kaido's crew since he joined up with him? Because we all know that Drake and Hawkins are one of the... oh man, what do they call them? Not the Hold'em and the Giraffe Lady and the Bat Guy. The Bat Guys was gifters. I forget the name of the ones who have the high titles in Kaido's army. I can't believe I forgot the name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. But Hold'em's part of it, Hawkins is a part of it, and Drake is a part of it. I wonder if Apu is a part of it as well, since he's pretty much a supernova just like Drake and Hawkins is. So I wonder if Kaido put him in the same group as Drake and Hawkins. But we don't know because we have no idea where he is. So he's unaccounted for right now. When do you think Jinbei will come back into the story and return to the Straw Hats, Act 3 or later even? It's hard to say. I'm trying to remember. Where did Jinbei go? Where did Jinbei go? It feels so long ago that we just finished the Whole Cake Island. I can't remember where Jinbei went. I feel like it had something to do with either his crew, or he just went off to do something or join up with some other members for something else that was going on. I completely forget. Please forgive me. But I can't remember where Jinbei went. But as far as whether he'll return or not, that remains to be seen. Wow. One wow is one slice of pizza for Brayden. Jinbei stayed behind with his crew to help Luffy and the others get away. We don't know if he survived or not. Yes. Thank you. Because I knew for a fact that he didn't do anything else after Whole Cake Island. So I felt like, is Jinbei still there? But since Mama and her crew came all the way to Whole Cake Island, it makes me wonder what happened to the rest of Jinbei and his crew if Mama and the rest of them went there. All of them. All of the high-ranking commanders, all the sweet commanders, all of them are there. Everyone, Daifuku or everything, Daifuku and everybody, they're all already at Wano already. So it makes me wonder, how did they get past Jinbei? Did Jinbei and them run away? Katakuri isn't there. No, he's not there. If he was there, then he would have seen that King was going to knock the ship over, and he would have told everyone to find another way to get into Wano. If Katakuri was in Wano, Big Mom would have never fell off. She would have probably rampaged through Wano to get to Luffy, and who knows what else would have happened if Katakuri was there. So I feel like he's probably still with Brûlé because, you know, him and Brûlé are close. He's still with Brûlé, possibly still recovering, more than likely. Because I feel like with Katakuri there, if he did somehow manage to recover in that quick amount of time, then it would have made things a ton more difficult. So that being said, let's get back to the chapter. I'm really, really getting off track here, so I kind of want to keep it going, and then we'll focus on some other things. We'll talk a little bit in between. So Brook uses his abilities to scare some of the ninjas away. Then a dude has Raijin and Fujin go after Hiyori because he notices that Zoro was with her, and obviously she's someone of great importance. Hawkins is facing down Law, and this is where we see that Hawkins has aligned himself. Hawkins has pretty much linked himself with Shachi and Penguin and Beppo, who is someplace else. And he demonstrates this by cutting into Shachi's hand with his own sword, and this angers Law. And he says, I've got 4 lives right now. You'll only be able to cut me down once you kill your 3 subordinates. So, in other words, Law can't do anything to Hawkins. And then here's another thing, another golden moment of Zoro increasing his rivalry with Sanji. In chapter 945, there's a scream of a woman, the scream of Hiyori as Raijin and Fujin close in on her. Sanji zones in because, you know, he's got the ear. He's got the ear of a gentleman looking out for a maiden in distress. So he hears that and he zones in on her. And as he tries to make his way towards her, he dodges a bite from Drake. And as he makes his way over, Zoro comes in and cuts down Raijin and Fujin and rescues Hiyori right underneath Sanji, completely undermining him. So not only has Zoro managed to sleep unintentionally with the most beautiful person that everyone considers to be the most beautiful person in Wano, but also a person that caught Sanji's eye. But not only that, also kept Sanji from rescuing her and being able to put his, I saved your life, and pretty much just increase the rivalry between those two. Zoro has been lucking out, and he has not been doing it on purpose ever since he's ran into Hiyori. He done slept with her, not in that way, and he done rescued her right in front, and she's so happy, and she grabs on to Zoro and holds on for dear life, like grabs him around the neck and holds on for dear life, and Zoro takes off. And then it has this Shirahoshi versus Boa Hancock. I wonder why it tried to block that. It just tried to block what you just said, as if you said a bad word or something. Like you said unnecessary profanity or something. Maybe it's because of Hancock's name. Shirahoshi versus Boa Hancock versus Hiyori. Who is the most beautiful? It's hard. It's hard to figure out that decision. I may have to think about it. But hopefully I'll come up with a decision by the end of this. But Sanji says, that beautiful lady is friends with that moss head, even though his bounty is lower than mine. So this is really, really hurting Sanji. Have you seen the new One Piece Stampede trailer or the new Wano animation? Here's the thing, and you guys might be upset with me. It's been a minute since I watched One Piece, since I've been doing these videos and doing gameplay videos. I haven't had a chance to fully catch up to the Wano animation yet. I am so sorry, but I can't really comment on it because I want to experience, and then I'll have something to say. But I got a lot of... I'm off from work today and tomorrow. I'm going to use today and tomorrow to fully catch up to One Piece completely. Then I'll be able to give you my consensus on the animation. Wano starts next episode. Okay. In other words, I have today and tomorrow to fully catch up on all previous One Piece episodes that I've been neglecting since I've been doing a whole bunch of gaming and a whole bunch of other different things lately. Once again, I apologize for not being able to give my consensus on the animation. But I will say it's really unique. It kind of reminds me of like hand-drawn brush strokes. Like some of the frames of the art itself, it kind of reminds me like like all the lines are not just like perfectly edged. Like there's some lines that stick out a little bit, like it's like drawn a little bit, but still like hand drawn, paint drawn, like paintbrush type strokes. I don't know if that makes sense, but the animation looks that way to me. So I can't wait to actually see that. So, and I can't wait to see a Kaido animated. Just take that in. We're gonna have Kaido in his dragon form animated. I can't wait. But Sanji is awestruck. I think that's the aesthetics they were going for. They are going to make it unique. It's definitely a gamble. It really is. Me personally, as long as they don't make it look too off kilter of what the characters normally like don't try to go into Uncanny Valley with the art, with the illustrations, then I think everything should be fine. But what I've seen from the animation, though, this animation quality looks like it's on a higher tier than it was before. And it makes me wonder, if the animation itself is on a high tier like that, then Naotoshi Ishida, the man that is one of the people behind the super high definition reveals in One Piece, you know, like how Luffy appears in front of the admirals, or how Luffy goes into his Gear 4 form for the first time. Like the animations where you see it all, like all the details and water droplets and smoke clouds and very unique patterns, like the super high definition episodes. I wonder how that's going to look with this animation style. Makes me wonder. Like I've seen a screenshot here or there, but I haven't seen the entire animation itself. So it'd be interesting to see. Definitely. They ramped up the budget and they took the whole Dragon Ball Super movie team and put them on One Piece. What? As in yo, that makes sense now. I see it. Because I watched Dragon Ball Super Broly. And now I see it now. Wow. Which means they can do so much with the animation, because the animation for Dragon Ball Super Broly was phenomenal. Like it was top notch. Like it wasn't like overused animations over and over and over again. But I hadn't, Grant, I had no idea that they did that. But now that I know, I can see the similarities. Because one thing that comes to mind is the animation where Broly, the director, and some of the animators. Oh, then I know for a fact then this arc is going to be beautiful then. Because they did a phenomenal job with that movie. But let's get back on track with the manga, because we're only on page 13 of 945, so we got 2 more chapters to go through, because I got something I need to bring up really important when it comes to the haki that is being explored in this arc. So Kinemon gets beat up by Shuten Doji, and he's still asking Shuten Doji to join up with him, and he's apologizing because of him framing. He apologized because of him framing the fire that happened in the mountains on Shuten Doji, and then hold him when it wanted to try and go after them because of that. But our plan has not been completely ruined. Lord Yasuye sacrificed himself in order to fool our enemy. The fact that the moon tattoo is more than just a popular design from the past, no one knows that better than the samurai that have been captured. On the night of the festival, we will invade Onigashima. Once the samurai in the capital, have been freed, they will no doubt come to our aid. So will you please fight alongside us, Ashura? And then he takes a jug, then he just takes a swig out of his flask, out of his gourd, and then tells him to follow him because he has something to show him. And we don't see what this is in any of the remaining chapters of this month. Then we go to Udon. And everyone's wondering what burst into the wall of Udon. Well, what burst through all the gates of Udon, and everyone is awestruck to find out that Big Mom is standing all in front of him. Now, at this point, for those of you who have been following the manga, we all know what happened. So everyone is awestruck that she's there, and everyone's screaming, Luffy screaming, Queen screaming, every single subordinate of Queen is screaming. Real hype for the Oden flashback. Oda just loves setting things up and making us wait forever to find out. Yeah, but when you find it out, it's like a sigh of relief, and then the hype is through the roof. And then sometimes you'll see me or Rogers Base or Joy Boy or whoever just screaming our heads off whenever we see anything amazing in these chapters. So Big Mom appears, and then she calls in Tama, saying that she smells Oshiruko. Chopper and Kiku are outside, and they're Chopper and Kiku look kind of beside themselves, wondering, she just burst through the door. And then Momonosuke and Tama is right there, and Tama's just screaming, yeah, she burst through the door! Otama and Lord Momonosuke must stay here and remain hidden. Yeah, I guess it has to be that way. Of course, Lord Momonosuke absolutely cannot be seen by them. The person in charge of this place is an all-star of the Beast Pirates, Queen. We must proceed with caution, Champeremon. Why do all of you think that a handkerchief is enough to disguise yourself? Am I the only one who gets Tama and Toko mixed up? Name only, not image. No, you ain't the only one, because when I tried to say Toko's name earlier, I immediately thought Tama. So no, it is not you. Right then I almost forgot that it was who is her name? Tama or Toko? So as they try to hide outside, Queen is looking at Big Mom and saying, did you say Oshiruko? That's right. Hurry up and bring it to me. I was told if I came here, I'd be able to eat lots of Oshiruko, not knowing that Luffy and Grandpa already ate it all. Be able to eat lots of Oshiruko. That's why we traveled all this way. Don't mess with me. Who the heck told you that? Whoa, Master. And this is where we see Queen's transformation for the first time. And also another side note is that Kid and Killer are still submerged at this point. Hey, wait, you guys. Spiky Guy and his friend are going to die while you're arguing. Pull them up first. You think this is just arguing? Are you going to fight? Please wait, Master Queen, if you try and keep Big Mom away from food, because this is how we know that the Beast Pirates know of Big Mom's condition. If she don't get the food that she wants, she will go on an unstoppable rampage, and only the food will calm her down. Anything else is dead. So then we see Queen transform into his Dragon Fruit, ancient beast model, Brachiosaurus form, and it is massive. And he basically tries to threaten Big Mom and says, I won't give you a single bite of this Shiruko, old hag. And then Big Mom gets upset, jumps up in an instant, like so fast, like Whitebeard did to John Giant when he tried to smash him during the Marineford War. And the look of surprise on his face is hurry. And the thing is, Chopper and Kiku think that since Big Mom lost her memory and she's being nice with everybody, she's so peaceful. Oh no, she's gonna get bullied if she goes into that prison. No, that is not the case. Because Big Mom one-shots him right into the ground. She jumps in the air. Pap! Sleep. And then all she says was, give it to me already. She not only bodies Queen, but she craters the ground she buries his head in, sending all the subordinates flying away from it. Queen was severely underestimating his opponent. Here's the thing. Like, I made a comment in my reaction to the latest chapter, talking about people. We've seen what happens to overly cocky people in One Piece. People have died. Ace, people have died, like Ace, for example, and some other people as well. But we also seen these people get mercilessly beat down because they thought that they were stronger than their opponents. Like, think about it. Every person that we've seen Luffy beat up in each arc that has him beat like the big bad, almost all of them have underestimated Luffy's abilities, except for Katakuri. I feel like Katakuri is the only one who fully understood that Luffy was a threat and did not take him foolishly. Like, sure, he did show up his own abilities by using his Mochi Mochi abilities to replicate and outdo some of Luffy's move, but Katakuri understood that Luffy was not someone to be trifled with, and he should take it seriously. And after Katakuri took off his scarf, it was at that moment that Katakuri fully acknowledged Luffy as a worthy opponent and not someone that he can just toy around with or just mess with. He absolutely needs to destroy. Everyone else thinks that they're so powerful that they can just take on Luffy and then the depths of hubris. We see the consequence of of not being humble in your abilities. We've seen the consequences of people who underestimate them. Yes, even Doflamingo. Exactly. Everyone, even people who thought they were invincible on the level of gods. Eneru, or Enel, however you want to say his name, thought he was a literal god, came up against the one person his powers could not really affect at all. So, out of the window. Doflamingo thought he was a god just because of his past celestial dragon heritage and tried to take down Luffy. Luffy took him down. And then Doflamingo rests deep in the deepest parts of Impel Down, as in his own words, is waiting for the assassin sent from the higher-ups of Marie Joie to come and kill him because he knows the secret national treasure of Marie Joie. But every other person that has tried to go up against Luffy has been, and it's pretty much this is pretty much standard for everyone who underestimates a person in One Piece. They sometimes get their comeuppance. Like John Giant thought he was, just because he was a giant, he was strong enough to take on Whitebeard. Nope. I believe he actually was the one that caused Whitebeard to literally pull the air and shift the whole world, or just shift the area they were in, and cause gravity to go upside down and knock everything up, knock everything off, knocked everything around. I was trying to find the right word. Knocked everything around Marineford. Not only the entire base, but also different parts of the sea. Do you know how powerful a devil fruit has to be to split the ocean in different places and cause it to upheaval like it was stone? Do you realize how powerful? Is this only lagging for me? I can't get it any smoother than this currently. I hope it isn't too bad for you. If need be, then you try turning the quality down for, like, if it's at 720 right now, try and turn it down to 480, if that'll help. But Queen is bodied by Big Mom, and that ends the chapter. And moving on to 946, Queen versus Olin, we're getting to the juicy stuff. We're really getting to the juicy stuff. She not only bodies Queen, but also grabs him by the neck and starts to swing him around, knocking pretty much everything out of the way. I can still hear you, so it's okay. Okay. She starts knocking everything around, using Queen's body to pretty much not only bruise him, but pretty much anyone in her way. Throws him into a wall, and he literally craters from the impact. And everyone is thinking, we're all dead. Udon is done for, because Big Mom is just going on a short rampage right now. And you got to admit, Big Mom is a strong somebody, because Brachiosauruses are huge. They weigh tons. If you were to look up like the average estimated size of a Brachiosaurus, it was in the tons level. You know how strong you got to be to lift tons? Tons is heavy. Hundreds of pounds is heavy for a person who doesn't work out. So think about tons upon tons of weight, and you're just casually swinging it around, and you throw it clear across into a wall so hard that it craters the wall, and then the person that you just threw is knocked out on impact. And everyone is screaming about how everyone is going to die and they're all done for. Queen is knocked out. Queen is knocked out, and he slips from his Brachiosaurus form into his human form. And they say that, whoa, the man worth 1.3 billion was taken out in 2 hits. So it just shows you just how strong Big Mom is. And Big Mom isn't even in her full right of mind. She's just using brute strength. She doesn't even know that she has a devil fruit ability. She's just using pure strength to do this. Not even using her soul abilities in the way. I want Robin to finally have a fight in this arc. We really haven't seen a moment where Robin is fighting a singular person by themselves, have we? Like, we've seen her with other people in some recent arcs, but we haven't had an arc where it's just Robin versus one other person. I feel like she fought someone in the Skypiea arc. What is it? That one dude with the very long neck or the very long back? I forget who it was, but she broke him. somehow. She broke them, but I remember her using her different abilities to break a dude's back. But I don't think it was like a pure one-on-one fight, like a singular one-on-one fight against another powerful individual. Robin only fights fodder one-on-one. Yes, so it's not like she takes on majorly strong people. She just takes on people that serve under these majorly strong people. She's totally on a different level. She really is Big Mom. Send a report to Kaido immediately. So, and then in the process, Big Mom also destroyed the cage that Kawamatsu was in. But we still don't see him. So it's like, Oda, stop teasing us, please. Tell us. Just let us know who Kawamatsu is in the next chapter, at least. So that one that's never been opened, it's been destroyed. I don't know what was locked inside it, but that thing should still be in chains. Looking at that cell now, I bet it died before it could escape. She was at Dressrosa and didn't fight any of the Doflamingo family. No. It was really... I think the only people that really got some fights in that arc from the Straw Hats was Luffy, Zoro, and a lot of the gladiators. A lot of the gladiators that took part in the Colosseum. So it wasn't really a Straw Hat centered fight because it was really all the people in Dressrosa that helped the Straw Hats fight the Doflamingo family. So only Zoro and Luffy got real fights in that whole Dressrosa situation there. Old maid, can we shoot at her? Don't provoke her, Daifugo. What are Kaido's orders? And this is when they find out that they can't transpond to anybody outside of the prison because Raizo and Caribou have made their way into the executive tower inside the prisoner mine in order to Usopp versus Sugar. Right. Frankie versus Senior Pink. I forgot. Frankie, Usopp, Luffy, and Zoro, because Nami and Sanji, along with Brook. Well, actually, Brook took on what is her name? Not Viola, but G. Started with G something. Hold on, let me look it up. Brook versus Giola. Yeah. Brook versus Giola. I forgot about that. Because they took her out at sea. But Raizo and Caribou are in the executive tower, and they've taken down the boss transponder snail, because the way that works is a boss transponder snail allows smaller transponder snails to bounce that signal off to other different... Only Robin of the Straw Hats was there who didn't fight, not including the ones who went to Zoe. Good point. But a boss transponder snail in Wano is able to relay signals from other snails as well. And think of a telephone tower. Any smaller signals can bounce off of that and go to any other small transponder snail that's around. And with another boss transponder snail, whatever the boss transponder snail transmits from one can go to the other. And then, so for example, you got a boss transponder snail here in Wisconsin, and then you got a boss transponder snail all the way over in, say, Virginia. So, and you got multiple snails in the area around the one that's in Wisconsin, and then you got the one that's all the way over in Virginia. Well, whatever the signal sends to not only bounces in between the transponder snails that are in the area around the first one in Wisconsin, but can also be transmitted to the boss transponder snail that's over in Virginia. So whatever one person wants to hear all the way in Virginia, they just have to bounce that signal from Virginia to the one in Wisconsin, and then the smaller ones can interact with that as well, which allows them to have an infinite range network when it comes to transmitting images and transmitting calls to one another in the entirety of Wano. And I'm still interested to know how snails, of all things, are pretty much the cell phones, televisions, voice recorders, technology of One Piece. You know, it's not the concept that fruits give you superpowers that gets me confused. It's not the concept that a person's willpower can coat a person's hands in a black and a black material that is able to pretty much destroy anything. It's not even the concept that there are people who are supposedly normal human beings that are tens of feet tall, and they're called humans. But it's the fact that there's snails in this world that function as telephones and television screens and basic, like anything that has a screen, anything that has audio in it, anything that you use to talk to people long distances, it's all done through snails. How? Snails of all things. It just confuses me. But Caribou explains how boss transponder snails work, and they shut down the one that's inside of the prison. Wow, that's actually a really good point. Can we talk about the fact that Vegapunk can make robots, pacifistas, but not a plane to get to Raftel, but instead keep boats, but instead use boats? What is up with technology in One Piece? It's kind of hard to say. You got cyborgs, cybernetic animals, like in Vegapunk's old workshop. You got cyborgs created from human corpses. That's essentially what a pacifista is. A pacifista is made from an old human corpse reshaped into the shape of Bartholomew Kuma. And it's somehow able to not only scan people, but it's got technology in it, like steampunk engines all the way down to like regulators, onboard computers that are able to scan pirates to tell you exactly what their bounty is. It makes me wonder, is there a whole center mainframe that lets a pacifista know what a pirate is, how high their bounty is, or is it just in them to pick up this information? So it makes me wonder, like, Vegapunk is the smartest man in the entirety of One Piece. Airplanes are kind of bad because the weather in the verse is constantly changing. That's actually a good point. It would be very dangerous to fly in the airs of One Piece because the airs of One Piece are not normal. You literally can have an area around an entire island where the seasons change within the span of a matter of hours. You can go from hailstorms to thunderstorms to tornadoes to lightning storms within a limited amount of time. And I highly doubt that even if Vegapunk was able to make airplanes, he would still have to work at it to make it so that it could endure anything. Because the entire world of One Piece is just one big melting pot of random. And you have no idea what you would be flying into if you were in the air. Not only that, but you got to take into account Sky Islands. Because as we've seen, Sky Islands themselves are durable enough to withstand having people live on them. So you can't just fly through the clouds because there's no guarantee that these clouds are normal clouds or sky islands. So you could wind up crashing into a complete sky island and think that you were just going to pass through it normally. So that just increases the danger of flying in the air. At times, One Piece is advanced tech, but at other times is olden times. We have robots and submarines, but no planes or computer, except for Vegapunk's lab. Yeah, pretty much. The mix between technology and still keeping into, like, what is it, the 16th century upwards, up until the point where they didn't use boats for the main transportation anymore. The thing, it's piratey things for pirates for the modern age. That's what I see One Piece as. Not the pirates we got today, because the pirates today don't really hold a hand to the ones from One Piece. The pirates in One Piece are a lot cooler than the ones we got in real life, except for the ones back in the day, like Blackbeard, and the ones that are actually real, were real. But going back to it, I'm getting so sidetracked here. How long have I been talking for? 44 minutes. Oh boy. But Raizo handles getting the keys for the tower and shutting all the transponder snails down. Then, oh boy, this is where things take a turn for the worse. So, Big Mom gets her hands on the Oshiruko pot, which we all know is completely empty because Luffy and Grandpa Hio ate it all. And she's just holding it in her hands, just excited. The rest of the crew that is not unconscious from Big Mom's short rampage with Queen know that it's empty, and they fear for their lives. So, I found it, the Oshiruko. She found the pot. What a rich, and the fact that the smell of Oshiruko is still in the pot. What a rich, sweet fragrance. There's so much. I'm so glad we came all this way. What should we do? That pot is empty. What will she do once she realizes? Who will she direct her anger towards? She may just kill all of us. That's certainly a possibility. She's got hearts in her eyes. She's excited. She opens the pot and there's nothing but an empty ladle. And then it cuts to a panel where it's just a solid black background. And she just looks so distraught. Eyes blacked out. She's not smiling. Nothing. She's just sad. And it's sad to see, but it's also terrifying because you don't know when she's just going to go completely off. And then everyone is screaming, "Evacuate everyone! It's every man for themselves! An unprecedentable calamity has descended upon us!" Then Luffy, with his big mouth, just outwardly says, "I get why you're sad. I'd like to eat more of that again, too." Man, the Oshudago was delicious. Hey, Straw Hat Man. And in that instance, Big Mom glares at him. Luffy should have blamed Queen for the empty pot. Luffy's not that smart to do that. He's not. He's quick with wit when it comes to fist fighting, but he's not quick with wit when it comes with wit. He's just not. He's the last person you want to give a thought out plan to. He's the first person that says, "Well, we just got to destroy this prison in order to break everyone out," not thinking that destroying the prison might inadvertently kill people if you destroy it along the way. He's not an inward thinker. He's an outward thinker, and he thinks with his mouth. So, okay, then Grandpa Hiyu should have blamed Queen. I mean, when you think about it, Luffy's mouth moves faster than everyone else's brain does. When you think about it. Because Luffy would not have given Grandpa Hiyu enough time to say that it was Queen's fault that the Shuduko was empty. Luffy would have just blurted it out and made the situation that much worse. We all know that the luck of the Straw Hats isn't that kind, where things like this could really play into their favor. Because had that happened, then she would have beat up on Queen, possibly killed him. And then she would have went back to Chopper and possibly apologized about not being able to get Oshudago, and then she would have just continued to travel with the Straw Hats. And they would have had a very hungry, but also still nice, kind of nice Big Mom traveling with them. But we all know that the luck of the Straw Hats never goes in a good way for them for very long. Something or other always happens. But she glares at him, saying, "So you are the culprit." She has the maddest look on her face. Her irises are gone. She's just completely overcome with rage. And Chopper and Kiko are looking on, and Chopper's crying out of his eyes. And he's just like, "Every time, even when he's fine, he's still not fine." So Queen starts to come out of his unconsciousness. This is actually the quickest I've ever seen someone come out of unconsciousness after being hit by Big Mom. So that kind of speaks on Queen's durability, because he didn't really stay knocked out very long. What? Did I say that out loud? I thought I was just thinking about how delicious it was. Like I said, Luffy thinks with his mouth, not with his brain. "You said it again. Are you okay in the head?" And in that moment, Big Mom tries to smash where they are, which just so happens to be the sumo Inferno tournament, sumo tournament. I forget the name arrangement, but she pretty much breaks the entire ring and almost sends them outside. Which, of course, we know if the collar has its way, if they get sent flying outside, then it's going to cut their heads off. And of course, Luffy's trying to reason with her, completely forgetting what he just said to send her into a rage in the first place. And he's trying to reason with her like, "Oh, wait, Big Mom, if we fall from here, we'll die. Razor blades will come out of our collars and chop our heads off." And I think your stream is pixelated a bit. If it's lagging for you, then maybe refresh the page a little bit. Maybe I should close out some other tabs to ensure that everything runs smoothly. I closed out every other tab except the one tab I was using to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm on Stardust Crusaders episode 21, so I'm really catching up on JoJo. So hopefully that helped the connection. Did Oda really make Big Mom lose her memories just so Luffy can break himself and others out of prison? I'm pretty sure there are hundreds of other ways to do it without using the amnesia trope. I feel like I am on part 4 of JoJo. Okay, I feel like the whole amnesia thing plays into what happens after the next chapter after this one, because I feel this is going to set something up on top of the whole. Because I feel like, sure, the amnesia trope has been overdone, but I feel like with that amnesia trope, it has caused certain things to happen that could very well spell either the prosperity or doom for Wano as a whole. But we'll get into that when we get into that chapter. So Big Mom still has amnesia, and she's asking, who the heck is Big Mom? And you, Oshiriko Thief, who are you? Because she doesn't know who Luffy, and she doesn't know who Big Mom is. Amnesia, can't remember. So, oh, that's right, I'm dressed as a samurai, so she doesn't recognize me. I'm on part 3 of JoJo. I think it's 4 episodes into season 2, so episode 28. Okay. This is bad, real bad. Wait a second, just beeped. What a conundrum. If she strikes again, we will die. We cannot move a single step backwards because they're literally backed up against the wall right where if they step outside, the blades go up. It's when they get close, it starts to beat. But if they step outside that ring, the blades just immediately come out and chop off heads. Big Mom, we'll give you their heads if you let us live. Big Mom picks up a rock and throws it at the guy that says that. He's dead, basically. Those townspeople treated me so nicely, even though they were poor, so I wanted to bring back a lot of Oshiriko to share with them. And Kiku and Chopper are surprised at this. I wanted to share it with everyone. She's still so kind. Why did you eat it all, you brat? And she's still smashing. She smashes the entire ring, sending Luffy and Grandpa Hugh flying out of the ring. That's going to cause the blades to cut their heads off. Luffy sees this, and it starts beeping, so this is where I die. There's no way to get out of this one. And Luffy manages to grab onto the collar. We see Haki coat his hand. And in a way, just like Rayleigh, he grabs the collar and throws it away from him before it takes Grandpa Hugh's head off. Now, I had it in my theory that it was just like Rayleigh, but going into the next chapter, we see that my theory was correct. So as that goes on, Luffy rips the collar off of him, not only of himself, but Grandpa Hugh as well, and they both explode. So not only were they blades that pop out in the neck, but also blew up as well. It's peculiar. I didn't notice that. But as they land, Grandpa Hugh notices that Luffy used that type of Haki that he was trying to teach him to use, and then says, well, this is a perfect place for you to train. Go up against Big Mom. So, and Luffy's all like, excuse me? What? But I'll die. And he says, well, this is are you an idiot? If you want me to train now, are you an idiot? You want me to train now? If I mess up, you know you'll die, right? I am well aware. Come at me, Emperor! And this is where we see Luffy coat up his hands with Haki, but he still doesn't have full control over it. So this is where we see him going to train against Big Mom to enhance his Haki. So going into the most recent chapter, which I once again apologize for making so late into the day. I had no idea that the chapter was out at the time, but I want to make it a habit of checking all my manga sources so that way I can get it to you early in the morning. So that way it can get the most traction. But we cut to a flashback to the past. I'm going to try and stop messing you so you can finish quicker, but while I remember, do you think that there's a chance of the Grand Fleet showing up for Luffy and Wano? That's actually a good point. I don't know. I mean, they did say if Luffy needed them, they'll be over there in an instant, but I don't know. Possibly. And we're almost done as well, because this is the last chapter I got to talk about, and then we can just talk about it as a whole. But it'll be interesting to see the fleet just show up out of nowhere. Who knows? Maybe they've been following or tailing the Straw Hats this entire time, and they were waiting for a moment to help them out. Maybe. But we cut back to a flashback to the Sabaody Archipelago, where Rayleigh is in front of Kami, and her collar's about to go off. And this is where we see how Rayleigh got that collar off of Kami the first time. So, in my theory was that the way Luffy took the collar off of Grandpa Hio was the exact same way that Rayleigh took it off of Kami was confirmed. Correct. So he used Haki the same way Luffy did it, but he did it in a more natural way to take the collar off of Kami, completely crush it in his hands, and then throw it away before it blew up. And Luffy confirms this by saying that ability is the same one that Rayleigh used back then, but I only used it out of desperation, just letting you know that only when Luffy was backed into a corner was he able to actually use it. And Grandpa Hugh is telling him that now it's time for you to train so you can use it however you want. But I only used it out of desperation. I don't know how I did it at all. Straw Hat Man, that ability you use was vastly superior to the Ryuo that I've been trying to teach you. If you can use that, you should be able to stop her in her tracks. Deflect that monstrous woman's fist. And this is the one I'm reading from Jai Mini's box, so that the reading is going to be a little different than what I read from Manga Stream the other day. Show me that you are capable of saving our lives. So, as this goes on, Luffy tries to brace himself and try to get his flocky to just flow through his hands in order to brace himself for Big Mom. Of course, it does not work because she completely bodies both Luffy and Grandpa Hugh and embeds them into the adjacent wall far off. And everyone is awestruck. Luffy, Taro, Luffy! And they're both just, their bodies are just sticking out of the wall. Like it's in the wall like this, and only their feet are just sticking out. So, yeah. And then everyone's all like, I knew it! If Grand Fleet doesn't show up for the war against Kaido, then probably the war after the One Piece is found. Typical Oda hinting things hundreds of chapters in advance by showing a form of Haki that early. Oh, there's another example of this type of Haki, but we're gonna get into that after this chapter is over with. He pulls himself out of the wall, pulls Grandpa Hugh out of the wall, and then Big Mom is upset that he still ate the Shuriko, and then we get explained how deep Haki can go. I am only able to teach you how to gather the vast amount of Ryuo known to you as Haki that surrounds your body. So he's only able to teach Luffy how to gather Haki into himself. So, hey, don't talk, you'll die. In order to don invisible armor, it is a powerful ability that can be used defensively just as well as it can be used offensively. So, prime example, the three admirals during the Marineford War blocking Whitebeard's Quake attack completely with them just using Haki. But there's another step further than that. It allows the user to transfer the gathered Haki into the enemy's body and destroy them from the inside out. It is far more powerful. You want to know another example of this type of Haki other than Rayleigh? Let me give you a hint. It's a certain pipe-wielding chief of staff of the Revolutionary Army. Oh yeah, we've been teased about this twice. None other than Sabo. Because if you think about it, Sabo's level of Haki was leagues above Jesus Burgess's Haki. To the point where Jesus Burgess was using Haki to, amplify his strength. But Sabo's Haki was enough to break through Burgess's own Haki with his dragon claws and completely break through it. This is explaining how Sabo has been able to have such strong Haki this entire time. Sabo understands how to do this because it says there's another step further than that. It allows the user to transfer the gathered Haki into the enemy's body and destroy them from the inside out. So a prime example of this is whenever Sabo uses, Sabo puts his hands on the ground and then he literally just pushes into the ground and it causes a massive explosion, a massive ground quake everywhere. That's him using his Haki to destroy the ground from the inside and cause a massive implosion, massive earthquake outwards. This explains it. This explains how he's able to do that. Not only is he that strong, but he's able to transfer his Haki into anything and do it the way that Grandpa Hugh is talking about. So we've seen this ability before. We just didn't know how to really describe it. So now we know that there's a higher level of Haki. Coating your body into it and then using Haki. Sorry, something got in my eye. My eyes just glazed over for a minute. But not only is what was I saying? But yeah. Not regular Haki just coats over your body, enhances your physical capabilities, and also your physical defensive capabilities as well. But Sabo has shown, along with, Rayleigh as well, that Haki can go beyond just your body and enter into different things to cause it to be easily destroyed, such as destroying nigh impregnable collars, explosive collars that celestial dragons put on their slaves, or explosive blade collars that Queen puts on his prisoners, or being able to literally just use your Haki to destroy other people's Haki-coded adornments on their body. Prime example, Sabo versus Burgess. Sabo's Haki allows him to pretty much exponentially break things that normally would not be broken. Because we've seen Jesus Burgess has an extremely whatever you did, your stream got better over 9,000. Okay, so hopefully me actually closing out those tabs actually helped out a little bit. But Sabo has shown that Haki has another tier, and he's able to use it to put his Haki into different objects. Kind of like, think about the Flash, for an example. He's able to excite his molecules to allow them to phase through objects, but he can also excite the molecules in other objects to cause those objects to explode. Better example will actually be Gambit. Gambit, he can actually do that just naturally. He doesn't have to vibrate his molecules. He can just excite the molecules and objects themselves, cause them to blow up or do whatever. So a good example, good comparison to that would be Gambit with his higher and the higher level of Haki. But Sabo pretty much is a prime example of it taken to the extreme and a full combat capability. So that's just another example. It didn't dawn on me until then that I realized that, maybe this explains why Sabo's Haki is so strong, enough to beat one of the commanders of a Yonko so easily, and also pretty much almost crack the skull of Bastille from the Marines and crack through his mask completely, and also not only catch a sword, but completely break a sword with his hands, using Haki to break the sword from within. Oh my goodness, just the revelation of that just lets you know that whenever you see people do these impossible things, is because their Haki is strong. Especially if they use Haki often, it lets you know that they're able to do that because of Haki, and their Haki is so strong. I just figured being trained by Dragon was why he was just so strong. So I figured Dragon knows the ins and outs of Haki, and he trained Sabo to get to that level, to the point where his Haki, so far, we have not seen to be outmatched by anybody's. Even people who as powerful as Jesus Burgess is nothing compared to Sabo. Like the last time we see Jesus Burgess before the Blackbeard Pirates raid Baltigo, we see Jesus Burgess just completely broken and bloodied beyond belief. Even his mask is missing. So it just lets you know that Sabo and his training with Haki, it's beyond. It's like Luffy is getting there. Is just starting to learn it, but Sabo's had a very long time to learn it. Ever since he's been with the Revolutionary Army, I feel like he's learned Haki from a very, very young age. So I figured he's had his entire life so far just to learn it. So there's that. Do you think Dragon will still be alive at the end of the One Piece manga in like 20 years? I don't know. It's hard to say. Dragon is a hard person to read. He is one of the most mysterious people in the entire One Piece universe. Almost pretty much up there, just as mysterious as M and Vegapunk. They are the three most mysterious people that I absolutely know nothing about, yet we all see them as some of the most powerful individuals in their own right. M as the ruler of the entire world, Vegapunk as the smartest man in the entire world, and Dragon as the most dangerous man in the entire world. They all hold these titles, and yet we know next to nothing about them. I think Shanks will be killed by Blackbeard, and then Luffy will defeat him as his final villain. I really don't like the fact that you could possibly be right, because I feel that might be the final push that causes Luffy to just go overboard and just straight up beat Blackbeard. But if Shanks does happen to survive, I won't be mad. I like Shanks. So going back to the story, because we're pretty much almost done with this chapter. It explains that Haki can be used to be Hockey can be used to infuse itself into objects to cause things that are normally impossible to destroy to become a lot more malleable or easily destructible. So if you were to say, do this into the body of an invincible beast who also happens to be a Yonko, then it could inflict some damage into him internally rather than his nigh indestructible skin. So there's that theory. A manga theory. So that steel collar, you shattered it from the inside out using Haki. So you have already achieved it. You have already learned how to utilize the large amount of Haki surrounding your body. You have simply yet to release it. So, and then it looks like Grandpa goes all unconscious, but he's really awake because he jumps out of the way of Big Mom trying to punch both him and Luffy. Also, if Blackbeard is Luffy's final villain, then what about Akainu or M-sama, and who will Dragon's fight be against? There are too many final villains. It's really hard to decide who's going to be the last person that Luffy fights. Akainu, the one who took his brother away, or Blackbeard, the one who orchestrated the entire events that caused Luffy's brother to be taken away from him. Not only that, but caused the death of Blackbeard. Also caused the death of numerous people with devil fruit abilities who he gave to his other crew members. So it really, something is really on my eye. It really is. Like every time I close my eyes, sometimes it gets glossed over like I got stuff in my eye. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was outside. I don't know. Maybe I need some clear eyes. But I'm fine. But it makes you wonder, who's the final person going to be? And then what role does M have to play in all this? Because he's just pretty much the ruler of the entire world. Just no one knows it except the elders. But it just makes you wonder, who is the last big bad of One Piece? It really is hard to say, because we've seen people who are already on that tier, but there can only be one final bad guy of this entire series. Sorry if I'm shaking myself. I need to get a new table. But sorry. But it's really hard to decide who's going to be the final villain of One Piece when there's so many of them. Like, there's one in every venue. The Celestial Dragons, the Marines, and the Pirates. One in every three great powerful position of the world. The world government, the Holy Land of Marijois, and the Golden Age of Piracy. There's one person in each of these groups that could be the final villain. But the trick is trying to figure out who the last one is going to be. And who will Dragon's fight be against? We still don't know nothing about Dragon. So it's like he says he fights for the freedom of the world. So I'd say that his big foe is the Celestial Dragons and everything that they stand for. And who knows? He could possibly already know that M is the king, the ruler of the entire world, and he could just be doing everything to cause M to fall under and destroy everything that M has put into place. Imu-sama, probably the final villain on Raftel. They will learn what happened in the Void Century, which will make Luffy want to fight the Celestial Dragons. Possibly. But I read something up that luckily we found out what the One Piece isn't. Because in an interview, Luffy wouldn't care what happened 800 years ago. No, Luffy wouldn't care, but all those linked to the Celestial Dragons and Imu himself would care, because they don't want the world to know. And knowing Robin, she's very interested in the history of the Void Century. So she could possibly write a book on this or make it public. So who knows how that'll go on. So that could already put them at odds with the Celestial Dragons. Like, they're already at odds with them already due to their behavior towards St. Charlos during this whole Sabaody archipelago and Celestial Dragons as a whole. But that could be a real trigger that causes them to be like the official enemy or whatever. What was I saying? I was saying something. But yeah. In a recent interview, Oda has stated what the One Piece isn't. It isn't like, the real gift, or the real thing, the real One Piece was the adventure with your friends. You ain't got to worry about any crap like that. It's not like, the adventure was with us the entire time, or this friendship was the real adventure. Thankfully, that is not what One Piece is. It's because Oda says, like, it wouldn't really amount to much of all that's been going on with the Straw Hats if they didn't get something out of this, like something out of this entire adventure out at the end. Oh, thank God. I was hoping it wouldn't be that. So was I, because I figured that would have been the worst kind of cop-out. One Piece would have just turned into, like, how long has One Piece been going on? Since 1999? Well over 20-something years. I figured that would pretty much put One Piece in the same ballpark as Game of Thrones Season 8. All of that amazing story, all of that character development, all of those settings set up just for it to be thrown out the window for just one singular moment that just caused the entire thing to be trash. I trust Oda. So do I, because he's been showing that we don't need to worry about his storytelling. It hasn't gone in a direction that made me question his ability to actually tell stories. So thankfully, we ain't got to worry about that. Plus, Nimu-sama holding that Vivi picture. Good point. What is the relevance of Vivi in this? And I wonder if she's still okay due to the fact that the Revolutionary Army currently is or have already assaulted, pretty much declared war on the Celestial Dragons as well. Do the Revolutionaries have Kuma in tow? Will they be able to get his mind back to where it was? Are they still fighting? Will we get to see Ryukyu anytime soon? I don't know, because we're still in Wano. I still wants to see this new admiral. An admiral that is in the same power level as Fujitora. A man who we've seen is strong enough to take on Doflamingo blind and then just brush it off casually. And this dude says he hasn't eaten in 3 years. How do you survive 3 years without eating? But I'm getting sidetracked again. Big Mom tries to punch both Grandpa Hiyu and Luffy, but they dodge out of the way. And Luffy runs away from Big Mom. And she pretty much breaks every single door that is in front of him, pretty much demolishing the entire building, almost pretty much going in a full lap around the entire prison, trying to take down Luffy. But she broke through the door and entered the iron factory. This is bad. The blast furnace is in there. Everyone's panicking. What should we do? Even Master Queen was taken out. There's no way we can stop her. Then Queen gets back up and says, Wano is Kaido's territory. Master Queen! I won't let that old hag get her way. I have a plan. Everyone, listen closely, because we only have one shot. I want you to think of Big Mom as a boar. If she keeps charging forward, she will eventually end up here once again. And it cuts to different panels of Big Mom trying to kill Luffy, smashing up every environment he runs into, pretty much demolishing everything. Then it cuts to them coming back to where they were before. She's back, Master Queen, and he's in his Brachiosaurus form, and Queen is looking down on Big Mom, and he's up on a high perch. He jumps up from this high perch and attempts to pretty much swan dive into Big Mom. Of course, this doesn't do anything to her. It does cause the ground underneath her to buckle, but it doesn't cause her to budge at all. Now, what it does is cause Queen to fall over. And this is when things go from bad to worse. That knock on the noggin, not Napoleon, not words said by anybody else, not someone saying the wrong thing. It is the knock on her noggin from Queen literally dive bobbing headfirst into her that causes Big Mom's memory to come flooding back. And she's looking around and she's wondering, I remember everything now. And then she stares at Queen and says, oh, you're from Kaido's crew. You're from Kaido's crew. Queen, right? And this is where Queen knows that, nope, we cannot do anything to her, because the aura around Big Mom completely shifts from being a passive-aggressive person, passive, mostly aggressive person, to being the bloodthirsty, able to kill anyone she pleases Yonko that she is known for. He senses this change, he loses his mind, and then he's all, it's over, no freaking way, she's a monster! Her aura is completely different from before. What happened to her? And then everyone is just shaking in their boots. If the One Piece is so dangerous, why doesn't the world government just try to get it themselves? I mean, it's what the One Piece represents. It's not what the One Piece is. It's what it represents. It represents the dreams of pirates to go out in the world and be able to do what they want. But ever since Gold Roger pretty much conquered the Grand Line and all that the world has to see, and leaving makes me think that it's something that can't be moved. Maybe, but I feel like the concept of the One Piece itself is something that encourages pirates to continue to be pirates. And that's something that the world government does not like. Even though they got pirates under their employ, they really don't like new pirates coming up causing trouble. And the fact that people with D in their name keep popping up and they are also becoming pirates as well. The One Piece represents everything that the world government does not want to be in the world. So it's not that the One Piece itself is dangerous. It's the concept and the idea of the One Piece itself that is dangerous. And that is why they pretty much have most world government officials have an absolute justice tolerance towards pirates because of what the One Piece represents to pirates. They don't want anyone going after the One Piece because they don't want another Gold Roger. Another Gold Roger could just bring more trouble to the government than they want to, and more trouble to the Celestial Dragons as well. So it's not what the One Piece is, but what it represents. So that's what makes it more dangerous. But Big Mom regains her memory, and then she falls over unconscious. I don't know if it's from the lack of her eating or the fact that she's tired, but she just falls over completely. And then Queen does not waste time having, like, even in the back there. Hey, CJ, what's going on? Also, Patrick Mulapo. Hope I said that. Mulapo. I really hope I said that right. Welcome to my stream. If this is the first time you're here, welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. Also, CJ, good to see you here as well. Oh, yes, we don't know what Fujitora was talking about to Green Bull about Vegapunk's new invention, so they don't need the warlords. That's a very dangerous thought, because think about it. Mihawk is only there because the world government sees him as a powerful pirate, and they have him under their employ. If they do not need Mihawk anymore, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with if he has to go up against the world government. Because as we've seen, he is undefeated. He has never been injured. He has never been touched by anyone except for Shanks. And Shanks was the only one to pretty much, throw his arm around him. I think it was in a filler arc. No, it was an official arc. Throw his arm around them and invite him to a party. We've never seen Mihawk be touched physically in any way since he's been seen. Him and Boa Hancock are some of the warlords have yet to have any damage incurred on them in any way. Because they're that strong. Literally untouched. Not a single scratch, not a single scar, nothing. But, yeah. But Queen takes this moment in Big Mama's recent narcoleptic state to pretty much bring me some pure sea-stone chains, wrap them around her 100 times, and then give her 100 shots of the anesthesia that we used on wild beasts. Yes, sir. Is the ship ready? Yes. A small handful of guards can stay behind to hold down the fort. Everyone else get on the ship. If this monster wakes up, we're dead. Every second counts. We're taking Big Mom to Onigashima with maximum security. Understood, sir. She destroyed all of the gates. Seal off Udon using the emergency backup gates. Throw all of the prisoners back into their cells and clean up this mess. Old maid, Udon is in your hands now. I won't let you down, but what about that guy? We're leaving! And then they pretty much got Big Mom, who's still unconscious at this point, bound in chains completely. Like, they got her so bound in chains, it's almost like it's a chain blanket. Like, they got her covered in it completely. And then you have one person say, yeah! Our destination is Onigashima. Board the ship. Hurry up. Set sail. Full speed ahead. Momo, the gate is closing. It can't be helped. We promised that we would wait here. Let's go. Huh? So I'm guessing Tama runs into the gate while it's still closing, and now Momonosuke is probably going to chase after her. Are the gates closed? We've sealed them shut. Do we have any communications yet? We still can't get a signal. Udon is fully cut off from the outside. What if something happens? We won't be able to tell a soul. Then I guess I can go wild now. Huh? Who said that? It'll be pretty boring now that Big Mom and the balloon are gone, but oh, that's right. He's free now. I've always been free. This is actually a better wording than what Manga Stream said. Oh, that's right. He's free now. And he says, I've always been free. That actually has double meaning. Wow. He says that both figuratively and relatively. I'll be taking over Udon now. The counterattack finally begins. And this is the last chapter we get of One Piece, and it doesn't say we're going on break, so I'm expecting another chapter to come out once everything has been resolved. Okay, that's all the chapters. I don't know if something in my eyes, it might be the pollen, but something is slightly irritating my eyes, like kind of making it dry out just a little bit, but I'm fine. So I imagine that King is the strongest member of Kaido's crew. Interesting statement by Luffy. It really is. What it said in the Manga Stream version was, actually, you know what? Let me pull it up. Because I feel like the one that from Jai's Minis box actually holds a better, stronger meaning than the one that I read from Manga Stream. Hold on, let me pull up that page. Page 16. Oh no, he says the exact same thing, but in the Jai Minis box translation, it bolds the word free to make it more prominent. So that actually caught my eye. I didn't really catch it the first time I read it, but seeing it emboldened the way it was before made me think that he means that both figuratively and relatively. So Udon, Luffy's going to go ahead and try and take down Udon now and pretty much free all the people and start to set the plan in motion for the assault on Onigashima. So these have been all of the chapters that we've seen in this month of July. Month of June. July starts tomorrow, as does my Telltale Games of Tales of the Borderlands series as well. So I got a lot of things to prepare for. Not only that, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out next month as well. Might as well call it. Yeah, it's in July 19th is going to be coming here around the corner. But focusing on One Piece, a lot of things transpired. We found out a lot more about Haki and also how it's been teased. Really early in the chapters as a whole as the type of Haki and its different forms and the stronger people who can use those higher forms of Haki that is actually start to be explained. Rayleigh is a good example, and so is Sabo. So this thing is really starting to get on my nerves with this whole eye thing. I might need to wash my eyes out. But to see that Haki has another stage and to see that the same version that Rayleigh and Sabo have been using is that higher stage that Grandpa Hugh is trying to get Luffy to, just lets me know that Luffy's already going to become an even bigger powerhouse than he was before. His bounty's already higher than Katakuri's. His strength is increasing every single fight he's in. Even when he's weakened with Sea Stone, he's still strong. So now that he's completely free of the Sea Stone itself, it just lets me know that he's a lot stronger now. Now he's going to be able to use all of his Gum Gum attacks just normal now. Because we haven't been able to see him use it ever since he got one-shotted by Kaido many months ago. So now we're going to see Luffy at his absolute best. And now he's completely free. He doesn't have to worry about, being careful with a collar around his neck. He's literally Gumu no Rick everybody. That's pretty much what's going to happen here. So we got a new chapter coming out this week. I'm going to make sure I check all my sources to ensure that I bring it to you guys as early as possible. Gumu no Bullet or Gumu no Pone everyone or whatever. Those ridiculous names. But what did you guys think of this chapter as a whole? Like I said, I don't want to go on too long because I can ramble. But Gumu no Bullet, Pistol, Rocket, Gatling. Then you got Culverine, Rhino Schneider, Rocket, Bazooka. Kaido's crew are the dinosaur crew. Get on the floor, everyone do the dinosaur. Oh boy, I just read that out so casually. But yeah. Oh man. But what did you guys think of this? All these chapters that we got this month as a whole. I like to ask you guys because I love interacting with you guys. This is why I love doing what I do, making videos with you guys, playing games with you guys, talking and interacting with you guys. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. This is why I like to interact with people. But I just wanted to find out what you guys thought of this chapter as a whole. What did you guys think? Did you like everything in these chapters that we got this month? Because we only got 3. Was there some things you were kind of expecting? I was kind of expecting we would at least see Kawamatsu during the chapters of this month, but we're still being blocked from seeing him. We don't know what Shuten Doji is going to be showing Kinemon and the rest of the guys. We don't know what Kaido's doing. He's just chilling over on Onigashima, I guess. Yeah, Big Mom got her memory. Yeah, Big Mom got her memory back. That's the big thing to take away from here. And here's the thing that's interesting. What kind of interaction are they going to have? Big Mom and Kaido. Because the last time they seen each other, I would like to assume that it was back when her and Kaido were part of the Rock Pirates. And I wonder if that favor that Big Mom says that Kaido owes her is going to play into this arc in some way. Because, Kaido was big bad mouthing to Big Mom saying that you don't need to worry about Luffy. I took care of him. Then Big Mom was all like, no, I want to kill Luffy because of what he did to me and my family in the whole events of Whole Cake Island. And he embarrassed me and my good name. So, and Kaido's all like, don't even worry about it. I don't owe you anything. He says, no, you don't. Oh, no, you do. You still owe me. So I wonder what that owed favor really is. I mean, I don't know, but hopefully we get to find out in this upcoming month's chapters. Still waiting for Zoro's reaction to Sanji's bounty. Yeah, that's actually something that we haven't seen. I was expecting Sanji to, maybe they'll say it during a more calm moment, because when Sanji and Zoro are fighting, they don't tend to get into too much witty banter with one another when they're in close proximity and fighting. Was it definitely confirmed that they were part of the Rock Pirates, or was it just connected to them? I don't remember. Actually, you know what? Let me actually go ahead and look it up. Since I have the lovely use of the internet, I can look up who she was a part of. Okay, it doesn't say anything. Let me see. History. Where is it? You're becoming a pirate. Where is it? Her and Kaido. It really doesn't say anything. Hold on. Nope. I don't see anything on the Rock Pirates. So actually, it may not say anything at all. I like the chapter overall. I wonder if Big Mom and Kaido will have a flashback or info dump about their younger days. Big Mom and Kaido flashback when they were young. That it really would, because we would actually see what Kaido looked like when he was young. I mean, we already seen what Big Mom looks like when she was young. I mean, she was already the size of, pretty much almost the size of Whitebeard when she was just like 3 years old. So she's ridiculously huge when it comes to human size standards. And Kaido, he's already ridiculously huge as well. So it'd be interesting to see what he looked like when he was a kid. I'm trying to listen if I hear Jet. That's our dog. My ear is always trained to him barking whenever he needs to go out, so I can't tell. I don't hear him, though. Nope, I don't hear anything. Seriously, having Jet is made my ears a lot more receptive to sound than I ever thought. But it'd be interesting to see Big Mom and Kaido together in a flashback when they were younger. But it doesn't say that they were part of any other pirate crew, because I'm looking at the affiliation that Big Mom was a part of, but it doesn't say anything other than the Big Mom Pirates. She's affiliated with being a Yonko, and she's part of the Charlotte family. It doesn't say anything about any other pirate crews. of her being a part of. Because I'm really not seeing it. And if I try to go to Kaido, I doubt that I'm going to see anything in that regard as well. Okay, let me see. I want to look at the history. Let me see. Big Mom, Big Mom, Big Mom, Big Mom. Crew, Queen, Hawkins, Orochi. Where is it? Where is it? He doesn't. Yeah. He apparently owed her a debt a long time ago, which he tried to brush off, but Big Mom held it against him as a lifetime debt. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into things. We know that the reason Garp is hailed as a hero of the Navy is because of the rock, so a flashback of how Garp became the hero would be awesome. Yeah, it kind of would be, because, that's another example of a person who can use that advanced version of Haki. Garp, because he's able to bypass Logia's, no problem, and Luffy's Gum Gum body, no problem. So it already tells you that he's able to use that. And since Rayleigh and Garp are similar in age, then it just lets you know that they know how to use that level of Haki at that from such a long time ago. So it makes me wonder, where did Garp learn to fight? Because that dude just uses brute strength. He doesn't have any double fruit abilities. He just uses his fists. And it's enough to literally, on one example, completely cave in a person's skull. Pretty much. And his strength is so well known that right after Akainu killed Ace, he was ready to kill him. Sengoku had to hold that man down in order to keep him from killing Akainu. So this just confirms that Garp is more than capable of killing Akainu if he wanted. But the only reason why he didn't was because Sengoku held him down. So it just lets you know that this man, who is ridiculously strong with brute strength, would be capable of killing a man who can literally create lava from his body. That says something. If Garp is able to take on a man who has that type of ability, because a normal human can't punch a man who can turn his body into lava. That person would immediately die. But the fact that Garp was wanting and willing to take on Akainu by himself and was going to kill him just shows you that Akainu's lava might not have meant too much to Garp. So it makes you wonder, maybe he was actually able to coat himself in invisible armor that is not able to be touched by even a Logia's powers. Because think about it, you can make invisible armor, but I wonder if a person is able to increase the density of that invisible Haki armor to the point where not even Logia attacks can go through. Makes you wonder, huh? But going back to Kaido, it doesn't say anything about any previous crews that he used to be with. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about the Rocks Pirates. Tekking has a rather funny rendition of how Shaki and Rayleigh first met and interacted. It's hilarious. I may have to check that out sometime. It's been a while since I've seen a video from Tekking. He does good when it comes to One Piece. He's the living, walking encyclopedia of One Piece knowledge. So yeah. So I may have to check that out myself. But I don't want to drone on too long. I just wanted to cover all the facts, and I wanted to interact with you guys. But since I'm done, I'm currently done talking about the One Piece chapters that we have today. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this channel and where it's going to go from here point on. So as many of you may very well know, recently about the events of, Etika. Those of you who know already know what went down. I'm not going to go into full detail of it because it really is truly sad how it went down. But after the events that happened with Etika, it really made me rethink what I'm doing with my channel as a whole. It made me put into perspective why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for the glory. I'm not doing this for the recognition because I really could not care less. I mean, I'm doing this. The reason why I do this is because of these types of situations, these things that happen to people like Etika, who where depression can really set into people and really affect them. Like, you don't know who it's affecting around you. But that being said, I do this because I don't know who I put a smile on, whose face I put a smile on whenever I make these videos. So with that being said, when I started this channel, I thought like, this would be a cool thing to do. But after seeing how people can be in some very sad situations, it made me really think about why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I love to entertain people. I love to see people happy. I don't like to see people sad. I really don't, because sadness can lead to other things, and I don't like to see people depressed. I know people go through it, but if I'm able, I want to be able to put a smile on their face and let them know that everything is okay. Everything's going to be fine. You got people here who love you, and if you don't have any person who's there physically, then you got me. I don't mind doing streams where I can just talk to people, being there for people, even if I can't be there physically. I want to be able to entertain and put smiles on people's faces and make them feel better about themselves, so that they don't have to take the easy way out. They don't have to they don't have to go with the permanent solution to a temporary problem. I don't want that to happen for people, because these people are so young. They are so young. Like, he was only 29. I'm 27. That's only 2 years older than me, and we're both still young. We're still in our prime. So for that to happen to him, he won't be able to experience the rest of what life has for him. And it's sad, because I don't want that to happen to people. But this is why I've made a promise to not only myself, but the people around me, that I will continue to do this to not only entertain people, but also bring people together, because it really does mean a lot to me. I love to see people happy. Happiness is infectious when it's interacted with multiple times. It is very infectious. And it is my hope that as this channel continues to grow, sure, it's moderate right now, and the rise is moderate right now, but I feel like I'm going to eventually reach a level where I'm going to be able to reach more than just a couple people during a stream. Not saying that you guys are bad or anything, but I'm going to be able to reach a point where I'll be able to reach multiple people on multiple levels from all sorts of walks of life and different countries and backgrounds and whatever. And if there's a depressed person, I want to be able to bring them happiness, so that they don't have to worry about thinking about whether life is worth living or not. That is why I do this. I don't do it for the money, because I don't even get paid. And even if I did, that's not the reason why I do this. I do this because I love people. I love interacting with people. And to think about it, I was not like this a long time ago. Before I actually got to my church and actually joined my band, I was quiet. I didn't even think about YouTube. I didn't even really talk to people. I was just very, very quiet. People say I talk more on my channel than I do with them, actually. I interact more here, and I'm more vibrant and more animated here than I am to people, because I keep my words few when I'm in public. But whenever I get on here, I just go a mile a minute. So I just want to be able to. You already do talk to people from other countries, yes, but I just as a whole, I just want to be able to bring happiness to people. That is my goal. The Q continuum is international. Is that what we're calling it now? But that's my goal for this channel, and I'm going to continue to pursue that goal, even if I get monetized or whatever. I don't care. I just want to be able to continue to do this and entertain people and make people feel happy. Even if I never reach like up into the leagues like Markiplier or people who have millions upon millions of subscribers, if I'm able to make one person happy from one thing that I do, that's good enough for me. I can't say any more. That's it. But I don't like to just constantly talk about things that I'm going to do. I rather show it through actions, because sometimes words don't really mean much to people unless you do it through action. And I'm a man of action. So I'm just gonna let what I do show what I mean. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's something that my dad always says when it comes to certain situations. I'm a shower, not a teller. So I'm gonna let what I do show how I feel. Aside from the anime man, I don't know any anime YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. Who knows? That could be me one day. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. I've survived sad attempts 3 times. My last one, I survived running into a freeway after getting hit by a 65-mile car and got a major head injury. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. But here you are today, able to interact with us. And possibly with a smile on your face, maybe. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're alive. And I'm glad that you're here. And I appreciate your company. So, and I hope I didn't kind of bring the room down a little bit, but I just felt like that needed to be said. I didn't want to make a video on it because so many people were making a video on it, and I just didn't want to do it like in a way where I was just trying to do what everyone else was doing or try to capitalize on his name, because I kind of wanted to give the respect to the family and didn't just try to use his name to get views or anything like that. But I just wanted to bring this to people's attention, like the intent of this channel. Like, I have no reason to lie to you guys. I give you the truth as often as I can, and like, this is an honest channel. But like I said, the way my channel is as a whole, it's a better showcase of my words than my actual words. I'm sorry if I'm droning on a little bit or getting on a little bit of a soapbox here, but you guys, for those of you who have been watching me for a while, know what I mean. But I'm going to continue to work. I'm going to continue to run this channel with the integrity that it is known for and the honesty that it's known for. And that's all I ever want. That's all I ever want. Because it's very easy for YouTubers out there today to just take the easy way out and just use their channel for lies or animosity or for hate and whatever. Because as we all know, hate is a very weak emotion. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to get on the soapbox here. I don't want to get all emotional here, but you guys mean the world to me. You really do. Just you few who are watching me right now. If no one else other than you guys ever watches this stream of my reflections and everything, you guys mean a lot to me. To know that when I make videos, that you guys like what I do and that what I'm doing is not in vain. It really does mean a lot to me. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. Excuse you, man. I'm doing far better now. That's very good to hear, because I like seeing you here. I really do. And after hearing this, I would like to see you here multiple times for a very long time to come. I look forward to seeing you whenever I have a stream or whatever. So know that don't worry, Kyushu. We will remain to support you as you continue to grow. Also, try not to forget us when you get to thousands of subs. Oh no, I'm not going to forget the ones who are here. I'm not going to forget the ones who tune into my channel day in and day out, or even just gloss over some of the videos that I do. It'd be wrong of me to forget where I came from and from the people who always encouraged me and gave me good words of wisdom and advice. And I'm not going to forget any of you guys. Grant, I'm not going to forget you. I'm not going to forget you, Cool K, not you, CJ, not you, Hinata. All my moderators, EGK, Brandon, Chris, them I'm definitely not going to forget, because they are my brothers. Not my blood brothers, but my brothers. So trust me, once this channel gets even bigger, I'm going to remain. The key to not forgetting where you came from is remaining humble in where you're going. Because it's very easy for people to take the success that they have and the fame that they get. It's very easy for them to lose sight of what's important and not just remain humble in the midst of success, because success can really ruin people if you don't know how to be humble about it at first. But once again, I don't want to be on a soapbox, and I keep saying this and I keep getting back on one. But yeah, so I got these statues here, and I didn't even open them up. Like, I got the one here of Katakuri. I just wanted to shift to another thing, but know that I will always be here. I will always be here. And when I make this a full-time job where I can do this all the time, where I can go to different places and not have to worry about it affecting my channel or how fast I put out videos, when I make this full-time, because this will become my full-time thing. This is what I want to become my job, because I love to do this. Because no offense to my current job, sure, it's cool right now, but I'm currently in a situation where I have to burn the candle at both ends. I have to, one actually pays me, but it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. And what I want to do for the rest of my life, working up towards it. So yeah. What happened to my green screen? Oh, it's over there. It's just I really have to get a backlight. Either that or I have to rearrange how my setup is, because my green screen is good, but the fact that my window is in the opposite direction of where my webcam is, it kind of affects how some of my green screen interacts. Not only that, but the natural lighting in my room and the light I have for my room, it's not bright enough for it to show on my green screen to show everything. Like I did it for the Spider-Man Homecoming, not the Spider-Man Far From Home, and I did it for the It trailer where it was just in the background. But my green screen is here, and I got the stand that is here, but I just need to get an actual backlight for it. So, and then rearrange my room so I can actually start to use it in more videos. But that's the only thing I'm missing is a backlight. So yeah, I might actually have to rearrange my entire room. I'm not going to move where my desk, bits of your chair are green. Does that affect it at all? Well, thankfully, actually, I'll show you guys. Thankfully, it is a double-sided green screen. So one side is green and the other side is blue. So if I use my chroma key, I can set it to blue and the greenness of my chair won't affect it. So I got a double-sided one. So just in case, I can just switch to the blue side, and that makes it easier for my chair to be picked up in certain situations. So it's a blue screen. It's double-sided, blue on one side, green on the other. So that way, if I wanted to use a green screen, if one side is stronger than the other, then I can go vice versa. It's a double-sided green screen. One side blue, one side green. But yeah, I got all these statues here. I got the Katakuri one, and I recently just found out that they had one of Luffy in his Snake Man form. Like, what? Come on. And I haven't opened either one of them because I don't know where I'm going to put them. Like, I got space to put them places, but I don't know where I'm going to keep them. But, because they're currently at the bottom of my shelf. So it's a blue-green screen. It's a Gru screen. It's a bling screen. It's a bling screen. Bling screen. It's a bling screen. But yeah, I'm just missing a backlight, and then I'll start incorporating some blue bling screen into my videos from then on. Yeah, that's how much did that Katakuri statue cost? I think I saw it at a convention for about $15-20. Yeah, this one is 24, and the Snake Man one is 24 as well. Crane King, King of Artists, Charlotte Katakuri. And then King of Artists, Snake Man. If they were to release one, do you watch One Punch Man? Yes. I think I need to catch up on the latest episode of season 2. I think it's pretty good. But I noticed the animation differences in between them, but it's not bad. But yeah, I'm catching up to the One Piece episodes as well. So there's that. But yeah, that's all my One Piece talks, all my regular talks with you guys, and that's it. So I'm just wondering. I always talk about stuff that's going on with me. Compare King from Kaido's crew to King of One Punch Man. I should do One Punch I should do One Piece theories on occasion. You know, I really should, because I come up with a bunch of theories, and they would probably be short because I tend to not want to drone on too long, as I have been known to do. But so they'll probably be short. They'll probably be like minutes at most if I do theories. So I might do some theories in the future. I might actually start doing them next month, so that way I can start to work on them. But compare King from Kaido's crew to King of One Punch Man. One of them is strong and the other one isn't. That's the comparison. But did I have anything else? No, I got to put my Switch in. I got to recharge it because I was playing My Friend Pedro yesterday. That's actually a pretty fun game. It's tricky in some ways. A theory video, Tekken does those other people used to. So I guess people won't mind if I start doing theories as well, because I got a lot of them. But that's it, you guys. I don't want to carry on too long because I actually have to take care of something real quick. But I hope y'all enjoyed. I really do. I love doing this. I love doing this for you guys, not just for you guys, but for myself, because this is my outlet. This is my hobby. This is what I love. This is my passion. And I will continue to do it until I can make it my full-time passion. I will make it my full-time passion. Don't let anybody ever tell you that some things are not possible, because anything is possible. Yes, King from One Punch Man is strong, and the One Punch one is weak. You're right there, Hinata. You already know. You already know. So with that being said, I care about you guys. Love you guys, my magnificent peoples. Hope you all enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you all in the next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm thirsty. I've been talking for so long.